During the pandemic, remember the pandemic? And the pandemic just happened to come at in early 2020. Let me back up. Let's go back to the beginning, not the total beginning of the story, but I'll pick a random chapter. One of the most important months, if not the most important month, in the geopolitical history of the earth in the 21st century was May of 2019. In May of 2019, almost 2 years into his administration, just over, this construct, this deal we had worked on from the beginning, led by Bob Lighthizer, heretofore referred to as the Lighthizer deal, that Peter Navarro and Lighthizer were working on every day after we'd had a little, how do you say this, Gary Cohn and the globalist crowd took their shot in April and May, June of 2017, and failed miserably. President Trump reverted back to exactly what he wanted. He knows exactly what he wants of world trade. Lighthizer and Navarro, working with Lee He, came up with what's called the Lighthizer deal. It was 7 verticals to take away the 7 original sins, as Dr. Navarro calls it, of the Chinese Communist Party economy, and to actually fold it into, kind of merge it into the economy of the West, led by the United States of America and Western Europe. It would take away the problem of excess capacity in state-owned industries and how they gamed the entire system, all of it. They also had that month the first Belt and Road big conference, and they had Putin come. I think it was actually either Beijing or Shanghai. And at that time, Wang Xishan and Xi looked and said, hey, this One Belt, One Road thing may work. This predatory capitals were lending all the nations on the Eurasian landmass in the Central Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East, Pakistan. They're all taking the money. They're all getting these infrastructure programs up. We all know they're not going to be able to pay back the money totally at first, so we're going to restructure the debt, take ownership of the infrastructure projects, control the countries, and then we have the networking effect that we've been looking for. And the United States and Europe will fall shortly thereafter, with Russia as our partner. They canceled Wang Xishan said, why should we bow to the foreign devils now? They canceled. They actually called up and said, we're not doing this deal. When it was the draft was they were prepared to work through and sign a draft and then get ready to have a signing ceremony event with President Trump and Xi. Canceled. Not doing that deal. We'll get back to you. They're not interested. Typical Chinese. Circumstances change. That's when they retrade you, circumstances change. Okay, thank you. I got that. That's what contract's supposed to go through, circumstances. But I got it. You guys roll differently. I got it. They also declared, as Frank Gaffney tells you all the time, the Committee on the Present Danger tells you all the time, they declared a people's war against the United States. She did. Said, let's go. Let's throw down. In fact, we don't want to get together. We don't mind decoupling. We want to roll because we see what they're trying to do. Shortly thereafter, I don't know, in the summer or the fall, I think the late summer, the military games, right? The COVID-19 started to spread. They knew what they were doing. They're going to take down the United States. Trump, and of course the economy of Trump in 2019 on a roll. In the fall of 2019, on a roll. Virtually no inflation, virtually super low interest rates, a 3.5% growth rate. We're taking $1 trillion of liquidity off the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve. Janet Yellen was the Federal Reserve chair. I actually thought she was doing okay. Quantitative tightening. Trump grew the economy with that headwind. Plus, you had first-time wages, as Cortez tells you all the time. He's got the charts on the whiteboard. Blue-collar wages higher than white-collar wages on growth. Non-college graduates higher than college graduates. First time in a long time. Record low unemployment. Hispanics, African Americans. Baby, we're cooking with gas. Let's roll. Then the pandemic. And now we're in this situation.
Sign up for free and be part of the movement.
It isn't just an app. It isn't just a social media platform. It's a community.
Download Get It right now.